AOC gets 1 minute?
What could she possibly be talking about? Let's talk about it, y'all. Middle America. Well, dear listener, there I was after band practice with the beautiful Sori. Yes, we all in a band. And this pops on the Middle America forum that I frequently frequent. If you, dear listener, would like to be a part of Middle America, facebook.com/America Middle. The vast majority of the news that we report on in this forum comes from that forum. Okay, now, having said that, I figured we could just watch AOC's presentation. It's a minute long. The Democratic National Convention is, it's up and kicking and all that. So we're going to watch this and then we'll comment on it after. And let's go.
Good evening, bienvenidos, and thank you to everyone here today endeavoring towards a better, more just future for our country and our world. In fidelity and gratitude to a mass people's movement working to establish 21st century social, economic, and human rights, including guaranteed health care, higher education, living wages, and labor rights for all people in the United States.
I ain't gonna give that to you, Missy.
A movement striving to recognize and repair the wounds of racial injustice, colonization, misogyny, and homophobia, and to propose and build reimagined systems of immigration and foreign policy that turn away from the violence and xenophobia of our past. A movement that realizes the unsustainable brutality of an economy that rewards explosive inequalities of wealth for the few at the expense of long-term stability for the many.
What's Biden going to do for that?
Organized a historic grassroots campaign to reclaim our democracy. In a time when millions of people in the United States are looking for deep, systemic solutions to our crises of mass evictions, unemployment, and lack of health care, in el espíritu del pueblo and out of a love for all people, I hereby second the nomination of Senator Bernard Sanders of Vermont for President of the United States.
Holy shit! Whoa! Excuse me. One quick moment while I conference with my partner in crime. Did that Spanish lady...
She seconds the nomination for Biden.
No.
What?
For Bernie.
Oh, that's what she said?
Look at it again.
Love for all people.
I assumed she was going to say Biden.
I second the nomination of Senator Bernard Sanders of Vermont for President of the United States of America.
Whoa! I literally thought she was going to say Biden, so my head just put Biden in there.
Right. Well, I was rolling my eyes. She made me look very stupid in this video. Because I was rolling my eyes at her saying, Biden's not going to get you that. And AOC said, I know, dummy. Just wait till the end of the video, Vincent. It's a minute long. How about you have some discipline?
When did this come out?
She just said this like 2 hours ago, B.
Oh, wow.
Well... let's see if this is front page on CNN, shall we? What's at the front page of CNN? Virtual lock. Biden secures Dem nomination and cross-country roll as GOP mocks convention doldrums. Bernie Sanders, AOC. Look.
Yeah, but it doesn't say anything on here. AOC calls out racial injustice, colonization, misogyny in 1 minute speech. It never says anything about her nominating Bernie.
CNN.
Maybe you, too, did what I did and assumed she said Biden.
Hey.
Oh my God.
If you are still of the belief that CNN is trying to get you the truth, please mail me. I live in America, but I also live in Nigeria. Please send me your email address along with your social security number and bank account information, and we both can become very rich. What in the world?
Yeah.
Okay, here's the thing. people could say whatever they want about this young lady. People like to say she's stupid. People like to say she's dumb. I'm sorry, but she used YouTube to get herself into Senate, and now she's she just blew up the convention. I don't care what anybody says. You have got to tip your hat to this young lady. I mean, my Lord, even the wonderful Tulsi Gabbard.
I know, everybody bent the knee.
Tulsi Gabbard, who's an actual warrior. You know, when we talk about politicians being warriors, it's always metaphorical because they don't go to war. Neither do their sons. Their sons go to the academy. They send your sons to the war, but that's a different story. Even Tulsi Gabbard, who's an actual war veteran, has gone on the Jimmy Dore show and for an hour and a half was trying to explain why she was going to vote for and endorse Biden. Look, this is what people on the left have been talking about and have been clamoring for really since the post-Trump era. You had CNN, which really isn't really a left... CNN really isn't left-wing. I mean, like I said, the politics of CNN and Joe Biden and all the rest of them, if you go in a time machine 20 years ago, it's Republicanism. They're Republicans. So they're not really, they're not really a leftist channel when you want to get technical. The neoliberals that CNN was appealing to fell for the Russiagate nonsense hook, line, and sinker. The progressives at least had a fighting chance. Now, the Young Turks, they, whatever. But my point is, they have been clamoring for some courage. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is one of the most courageous moves. Did you see?
Good for her.
You see her face after she said Bernard Sanders? Look at her face.
Of Senator Bernard Sanders of Vermont for President of the United States of America.
She did a little blink. What's going to happen? She just won her little election again. I mean, what can Pelosi do to her at this point? You watch how actual regular human beings coalesce around this woman. And Izzy, this pours even more dirt on your guy, Bernard Sanders. Because this dude has been a senator longer than this woman has been on the planet Earth. And even she had the political know-how and the actual courage and chutzpah to go out there and do and say the right thing. You and I both know, dear listener, that Joe Biden is not there because he's in the interest of the people. You and I both know that when Mr. Barack Hussein Obama got on that phone, he told Buttigieg to quit. He told all them people to quit so that Joe Biden could be the president and then Kamala Harris could be the vice president. Hey.
Oh, I'm glad she went and said that.
Why is that?
Because I think that it's ridiculous that people are just running up behind Biden when we all have like two eyeballs to be able to see what's going on here, and that he is clearly not in a position to be able to lead this country. And I think that it's absolutely ridiculous that other people are standing up and going behind him. It just, to me, it takes away from the credibility for a whole lot of them.
Fam. But listen. If Biden is mentally incompetent to the degree that he can't fulfill the office, you have Kamala Harris. What's the problem? You know Kamala Harris, who said, "I believe them," in response to the question about Biden's many accusers of sexual assault. She got up there in public and said, "I believe them." She got on the debate stage. We covered this in the previous video, where she said, "That little girl was me." Huh? Don't you remember? And now, and it's funny because she said, "Will you admit that you were wrong about that?" He was like, "Well, I wasn't really against busing. I was against state-enforced busing." And like, he won't admit when he's wrong. And the crime bill, see, the thing about Biden is he doesn't pretend. He has been upfront about the crime bill. He has been upfront about being the vice president to the border-in-chief, and he won't change that. He won't come out and say, "I did the wrong thing," hanging out with those KKK folks and teaming up with Strom Thurmond to get Kamala off the bus.
Wow.
He didn't repent of any of that. And then you went on TV, Kamala, and said you believe that he is a sexual predator of girls that he could be the grandfather of.
Oh.
And you are now running with that man. On top of the record that Tulsi exposed for you. So you cannot, with any semblance of a good conscience, vote for this man. And I'm seeing all these silly memes. All these people talking about third party and write-ins are simply showing us their privilege because they get to go and play politics while the rest of us are. Be quiet, please! Which is silly self. What do you mean voting third party shows your privilege? No, silly. Voting third party means that you are telling the establishment on both sides that you're not going to play their game.
Yep.
And this is one of the first times in my political life when somebody who was inside the institution, which AOC is, and someone who kind of stumbled a little bit. Jimmy Dore talked about this. She stumbled a little bit, compromised, etc., etc. This is the first time in my political lifetime when somebody came out and did the courageous right thing. Now you watch. This woman is going to be untouchable. Go ahead, Pelosi and all the rest of you silly people that try to shut this girl up. You're going to get, look, she's probably prepping for 2024. Because here's what's going to happen. Okay, here's my bold prediction. Either A, Biden will lose, which the pendulum in my mind has swung again. I think he's going to lose. Once we saw that ad from Trump, they went 2016, 2020, and showing how he's deteriorated so much in the last couple of years. Either way, even if Biden wins, he's going to be a horrible president. And she could run as an independent. And you watch, if she stays with it for the next 4 years, something is actually going to happen. And if progressives figure out the lessons from the last 2 election cycles and learn to coalesce around a single candidate and use their media power as well as their dollars, as well as their political influence to circle around a single candidate, like what the neoliberals did with Biden, there's a very big chance we could be talking about President Cortez in 2024. Say what you want, call it a hot take, but she is the first one to do this, which is what 90% of the Democratic constituency is pro-Medicare for all. And Biden consistently says he would veto it. He'd veto it. Well, you know what that means in this current universe? That would mean that even the Republicans, they've got enough Republicans to even get them to help out. So if somebody was able to get a Medicare for all plan and it ended up on his desk, he has stated explicitly that he would veto it. And this is a person we're all supposed to vote for. In a pandemic, mind you.
I know.
Unbelievable. Hats off to Ocasio Cortez. I mean, whoa. It takes a lot to surprise your brother, I have to tell you. But I didn't know Shorty had it in her. And say what you want about her. Say what you want about her. You know what happened? Here's what happened. Izzy Jimenez posted this a couple days ago. And it's so fitting. Here's what Izzy posted. Okay, people. Again, this is Middle America. Facebook.com/American Media. Okay, people, let's recap. In the midst of epic civil unrest over systemic racism and police brutality, the DNC offers the 2 people who have done the most to hurt people of color as candidates to run the country. Completely true. One guy, when he had his mind, was the author of the crime bill. The other one was the implementer of the crime bill, who kept people in prison because she didn't want to hurt the economy of California, which was, 8% of which was predicated on slave labor. Point 2, she didn't include that, but I helped her out. Rather than hire Chuck Rocha, who did phenomenal things for the Sanders campaign with the Hispanic population, Biden hires a never Trumper Republican, Ana Navarro, to head up his Hispanic outreach portion of the campaign. The Bernie team broke records with the Latino community in the Democratic, like the guy was just a master. I mean, I think they scored higher than Obama in 2008, which is massive. But instead of picking up Bernie's guy who did that, he goes and gets a Republican. AOC, who is probably one of, if not the, all caps. See, Mr. Trump, you can learn from my sister Isabel Jimenez. She's very, very judicious about when she uses the all caps button. Unlike you, Mr. President. if not the most popular young politician on the scene, is given a 60-second pre-recorded message slot at the DNC convention, while Republican Kasich is given 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's...
But I don't think this was pre-recorded, because I am almost certain that if the DNC knew what she was going to say, it never would have gotten aired. And I don't know if she maybe gave them a crazy like fake video where she endorsed Biden and then switched it.
The real deal.
I have no idea, but AOC like doesn't play around. Like, that girl plays chess, bruh.
Mm-hmm.
TYT was denied press access to the DNC convention.
They were?
TYT. Say what you want about TYT. They are the hub for mainstream progressives. They are. There'd be no Jimmy Dore, et cetera, without Sam Sater, Kalinsky. Say what you want. They were the innovators of it, and you don't give them a press pass?
That's weird.
But Fox News people get? Okay, all right, we continue. Yang was not invited to speak at all. The Democratic Party must be terminated.
Wow.
That was Arnold Schwarzenegger. Oh my God. Look, when you look at this list, dear listener, it's on the page right now. You look at this list. Now you tell me that these are people that want to win. I mean, they're so blinded by their hatred of progressives.
Honestly.
That they're literally willing to lose. And they're enjoying every single second of giving the finger to progressives and embarrassing them and humiliating them. Like, they love it. They love it. They're like, oh, AOC, we'll put you on our little council for climate change. You see the little thingy when she was talking? They're like, oh, she's on Biden's climate change council. And yada, yada, yada. All these, like, insulting, horrible positions. And she's on a climate change council, but none of her recommendations are going to be followed up on. It's basically trying to embarrass all the progressives on the stage of the world, which, by the way, I blame Cenk for. Because Cenk was like, we're at war! Don't you? We're at war! We're going to run you out of town! And so, you know, they caught feelings off of that. I mean, it's not all Cenk, but I mean, these people are insane. They're absolutely insane. I said at the beginning, I was like, I think Trump is going. I'm pretty sure Trump is definitely going to win this one. He's definitely going to win.
I think so.
There's no way. There's no way. This party is in shambles. Mm-hmm. It's in shambles, and
but never Trump. So
people are going to blame AOC for the loss. I can tell already. You watch and see, dear listener. How much you want to bet? I will wager you, dear listener. How much you want to bet that there isn't going to be some crazy the Russians got to AOC story coming out soon? Shout out to AOC. I'm overjoyed. This is a high character move, bro.
Yeah, it really is. Say
what you want. There is no Republican equivalent of this young lady. I'm sorry. And Republicans need to ask themselves why. You might win. I'm pretty certain Republicans are going to get the election, but you watch 2024. If she stays the course, and if Pelosi has already shown that she will kowtow to AOC's demands because she was against the impeachment process. She initially was saying the impeachment process was going to give Trump a gift. She was right. This is where AOC showed her, the greenness of her tenure. I did that on purpose. See if you got it. She showed how green she was because she was putting so much pressure on the Democratic Party to impeach, and that finally Pelosi went and did it, and sure enough, she gave Trump a massive gift. Trump set a record in contributions, and he got like $40 million from California, which is Kamala Harris's. Anyway, wow. Hats off. Love your neighbor.
Take care of each other.
Middle America.
We are the media.
Till next time, guys.